We are learning more about a major investigation targeting 30 people, some of them leaders of a Venezuelan gang in Aurora that made national headlines. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Sam Shocker. This morning, federal agents and local police called it the biggest crackdown on Tren de Aragua in the country. Here's Jeremy Hohola with more on who got indicted for drug and gun crimes.
69 guns, including one modified to shoot fully automatic. This is part of the evidence investigators seized in criminal cases against 30 people since October of last year, some who were leaders of Tren de Aragua, according to federal prosecutors.
In addition to the firearms, this operation cumulatively seized multi-kilogram quantities of 2C, otherwise known as pink cocaine, as well as quantities of fentanyl, cocaine, and methamphetamine.
This morning, multiple agencies like the ATF, DEA, and local police spoke of what led up to the federal indictments.
The charges include firearms trafficking, drug trafficking, and a barbaric murder-for-hire plot in which several of the defendants agreed to kill 2 people for $15,000 and return their severed heads as proof of the murders for just an extra $5,000.
Investigators say much of the crime originated from the Ivy Crossing apartment complex in Aurora that became another haven for Venezuelan gang members last year. The case involved undercover deals in what is now being called by the Department of Justice as the largest TDA crackdown in the country.
Their mission was to be like a parasite and basically take over any area that they can control. 2
of the gang's leaders have been arrested in Colombia, with a third arrested here in Colorado. Prosecutors say up to 5 more people who were arrested are known TDA gang members or associates.
There was a time not too long ago when many people didn't want to believe in TDA. But I'll tell you, this team believes in it. This team knows it is real, and it knows it poses a real danger to Colorado.
And we asked about the nationalities of the people arrested. Investigators said they could not get into detail about that. We also tried reaching the owner of the Ivy Crossing apartment complex in Aurora, which is still open. No response so far. Investigators say the owners are cooperating to make it safer with better security. Live in the newsroom, Jeremy Hohola, 9 News.
Well, this indictment is far from the end of this. You're going to be learning lots more in the weeks and days ahead.
Absolutely. 30 people in the court case system here in Colorado. Yeah, we'll learn more.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yep.
The city of Denver is laying off employees and eliminating hundreds of positions as it faces a massive budget shortfall. This week, 171 people will lose their jobs, though we still don't know which departments those people work for and the impact that will have on public services. 9 News reporter Mark Salinger is following the breaking news this afternoon. Hey, Mark.
Yeah, Sam, the headline here is the 171 people who were laid off, but the city is also cutting 665 more positions that are currently unfilled. They're not filling those positions. Another 92 positions will be transferred off the city general fund to another funding source. So that brings the total number of positions impacted by these announcements today to 928, or around 8.4% of the city's workforce. Today, many employees with the city of Denver were told to work from home as the layoffs began. We're told the layoffs will continue over the next couple of days, at least through Wednesday. We don't yet have a breakdown of who will lose their job or in which departments those eliminated positions are in. The Teamsters Union, which represents around 1,000 city workers, says they were never told exactly how many people will lose their jobs, even as the layoffs began today.
I asked the mayor, you wanted this? You wanted to fight with the union? You wanted to fight with the Teamsters? Well, brother, you got it.
That was Ronnie Houston with the Teamsters Union. The number of people laid off is perhaps less than some of the unions that I spoke with earlier this week feared. However, 171 people coming home this week telling their families they no longer have a job. Sam, of course, that's a huge impact.
That's a huge impact. I mean, a lot of people can relate. I'm not saying to this degree or to diminish it. I've been laid off, but I can only imagine almost not knowing if you are going to be one of those, not knowing if you're going to be able to put food on the table, considering the climate right now.
And
do we know? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was going to say that there's still people today who are watching this newscast right now saying 171 people will be laid off. And unfortunately, those people, or some of those people, will find out that their job and their position has been cut over the next couple of days.
That's right. Yeah, Mark Salinger, thank you.
Dramatic video obtained by 9 News Investigates shows an Aurora dentist before and after he injected poison into his wife's bloodstream. An Arapahoe County jury convicted Dr. James Craig of first-degree murder last month. He was accused of dosing his wife's protein shakes with arsenic and eye drops and then injecting cyanide into her IV line after she was hospitalized. Video captured inside the hospital shows him going into his wife's room and then emerging a minute later and reporting she was suffering arm pain. When doctors and nurses went to investigate, she was unresponsive and was placed on life support a short time later. Kevin Vaughn from 9 News Investigates will have that full video and a report on 9 News at 5. Good news if you love the 90s, because we're not going away. We're not leaving the 90s for a long time. It's going to stay hot here in Denver. Some of us like it hot.
I know.
It's
some of
hanging
us
on to
do.
summer, hanging on to the last
Yes.
minutes. Kathy, we'll be complaining in a couple of months about
That's
being
true.
cold.
Kim, as Sam and I were talking about last hour, this won't be one of our longer heat waves, so that's the good news. But we are headed, well, back in record territory by Wednesday and Thursday. But big changes coming in over the weekend, almost an early preview of fall, if you will. Out there today, we're tracking showers and severe thunderstorms. Some of these clouds are mean, holding hail and damaging winds to 60 miles per hour and a lot of wind and lightning. We had ground stop conditions last hour out at DIA as a result of storms that continue to move over eastern Colorado. DIA is still in the 70s as a result of that thunderstorm. 89 here at the 9 News studios, but mid-90s in areas like Fort Collins, Erie, and Broomfield. Still pretty gusty on the I-76 corridor and gusty at DIA out to Fort Morgan and Akron. We expect these winds will come down a little bit as this line of severe storms continues to track off to the east. Right now, this cell is just outside of Burlington, a line headed outside of Lyman eastward toward the Burlington area, Cheyenne, Kit Carson, Lincoln counties. We've had some thunderstorm wind gust reports to 60 miles per hour. That's going to throw patio furniture around and be quite dangerous. There's some good news here, though. We're seeing some scattered showers with this line that is tracking just south and east of the metro area. So good news in that regard, but hail and damaging wind, something we don't want to see. And this is level 2 out of 5, Fort Morgan out to Sterling tonight. So if those of you are traveling on I-76 toward the northeast, be mindful of that. The storms aren't going to stick around very long, but they are powerful, those ones that we have on our radar this afternoon. We're in the 80s now. We'll drop 10 degrees by 9 o'clock. Coming up, we'll check the radar again and then talk in detail about that cooler weekend change with your extended forecast in just a bit.
Kathy, thank you. And we've been feeling the heat in Colorado for the past week. Poudre School District up in northern Colorado is going to be ending classes early for a second straight week because of the heat. The district says they will be dismissing most students 2 hours early all week. These are the schools on your screen that the district says would have early releases. However, if forecasted temperatures drop below 90, all schools will operate on a normal schedule. District leaders say they will reevaluate the forecast on Wednesday to see if they need to make any changes to the plan. Well, many evacuation statuses are being downgraded or lifted due to decreased fire activity in Rio Blanco County. The Lee fire has burned more than 135,000 acres and is 61% contained. Because of the success crews are seeing in suppression efforts, evacuations for multiple zones have been lifted, others downgraded to yellow or green to check which ones head to the county sheriff's office, their Facebook page. Hot and dry weather could make the next few days difficult for crews, but experts say a cool down next weekend could make a big difference. Meantime, the Elk fire is now 100% contained, thankfully. That doesn't mean the fire is completely out. Containment refers to a control line made by fire crews, and a fire should not be able to cross. Officials say it has burned more than 14,000 acres, or about 22 square miles. Conservative network Newsmax has settled its lawsuit with Denver-based Dominion Voting Systems to the tune of $67 million. Dominion accused Newsmax of defamation by spreading false claims that it manipulated the 2020 election in President Biden's favor. Newsmax will pay the $67 million in installments through 2027. Back in 2023, Fox News paid more than $787 million to Dominion as a settlement in a similar lawsuit.